I wanted to ask you a question about this, and I know it's something I've experienced personally, just working 2 years in the school system in the sped world. And have you experienced burnout? And if so, with these kids, because obviously they have disabilities, and sometimes when you're taking care of them, you take care of them so often that you kind of forget to do self-care.
Oh yeah.
So have you ever experienced that? And if so, like, what have you done to kind of combat that? Or
Well, that's a really good question. And I mean, literally as we speak, yes, absolutely, definitely hit burnout. And there's some folks, I think it's almost a mutual burnout. And we're like, you know what? Let's take a couple of months off, or, let's reevaluate our relationship. But I'm working with adults now, so it's a little different. With the kiddos, I think, for me, it's who might better work with you, because there'll be someone. My reality is that I want to like everyone, and I don't. There's some kids that remind me of my brother. It's like, you kind of piss me off, or, there's just something going on that doesn't. And so I might, have Cynthia come in or just, approach a different thing, a different way to, work with them. But the burnout, especially when you're working with the same kids 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, oh my God, and that's why the aides, if you have aides or, whomever, but there always is going to be a kid that, I remember, when I was working one-on-one up at the school, and this kid just had total flat affect, and he'd just sit there and stare at me, and I'd like, so, I was like, what'd you do? It's just like the most boring 5 minutes. I'm like trying to do anything. Like, you want to play cards? Do you want to? He would just like super flat affect. Great guy, nice, but I didn't know what to do with them. Mm-hmm. And so to take care of yourself, for me, nature is the biggest thing. Watching the waves, taking care of myself. I've been meditating for a while now, and trying to do that.
Talk about that. Talk about the benefits of meditating. I know I was talking to you about it, I think, a couple days ago, and he's like, no, wrong guy. No, but there's a lot of benefits to meditating.
Absolutely.
Well, you're talking about tea and how you're talking about Lionel Messi and professional athletes. Sometimes they'll mate and they'll meditate along with that to help them, in all aspects of life. So
sure.
Talk about that a little bit.
Oh man. Well, meditation is like, it's like shutting up your brain so that the real stuff can come through. All the I'm not good enough. Oh, you suck. You'll never do that. Whatever it is that's like, those negative voices. And if you can just shut them up, then all of a sudden the stuff starts bubbling up, and it's like, hey, we could like murmur. And, I could really accomplish this. I could start my own business. Or how would you do that? Versus you'll never, you can't start your own business. It's, it's too late, blah, 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 and it's you shut that stuff up, and it's like, oh, what can you do? And so the meditation for me is just being open to listening to really my heart, and what, not whatever that, voices, those negative voices that are always controlling, like, me and the way I, perceive things. It's like, shut up, dude. I've been conditioned to have this, opinion of something. And it's like, so, and it's often negative. And so when I meditate, I try to shut those down, and then all of a sudden these ideas come up like, oh my God, this is incredible. So one of the things I do, and this is, I don't know if I told Cynthia, but so I have these two bells, and like I ring them, ding, ding, 4 times. And like in the beginning, it was like, ding, it was like, wham,
Climbing them together.
It was like, you really want a lot of noise because, and now it's like, what's really intense is that energy in between them before they make any noise. And just like, what could happen right there in that place, And just that thought, it went from like having them to have to bing to like, wow, what's it going to, more focusing on the energy between them than themselves, you know, it's just
actual
like, yeah,
hitting.
yeah, actual hitting. So now I'm trying to do like the most subtle, quiet ding, you know, and it's like, oh, you can bear it. And that's like, oh, and then everything shifts. And then it's like, okay, I'm going in, you know, and just going to meditate and trying to clear my brain out. And then stuff comes up, man.
I feel like I get that clarity or that moment of just like, wow, I could do this or I could do that, or let me plan out my day and let me think about all the things I can accomplish today when I'm running. After I finish like a workout or something like that, or sometimes like towards the end of a workout, I just kind of get this huge sense of clarity where I'm like, okay, I finished this. That's one thing I've done today. I've accomplished today. What else can I do today? And I feel like it's a similar situation when you're talking about meditating, just kind of like the positive self-talk. What's everything that you can actually do?
Absolutely. And I think, you know, there's definitely different types of meditations.
Yeah.
One thing that I've just learned about was labyrinths. You know what a labyrinth?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
You know,
A maze.
you walk,
Yeah.
Isn't a labyrinth a maze?
That's what I was
it
thinking.
can be a maze, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's the pattern of walking in a, you know, they have them like the corn, you know, whatever. Like
Corn maze?
You saw The Shining, right?
I haven't seen
Gabe's not a
Shining.
movie guy.
I'm not a movie guy.
He's not a movie
I
guy.
just not get into this
Hey,
stuff. 'cause I
we
don't-
won't fall in this rabbit hole. I want to hear what you have to say.
There's
okay?
so
Just keep
many
moving
times
on.
this guy's just been like, "Oh, we seen that movie?" And I'm like, oh.
Hey, we won't get into it right now, Frank. But continue your story.
Go.
Yeah. So there's a maze in The Shining at the end. It's great. Jack Nicholson. Oh my God. But anyway, so
Write that down on your list.
Labyrinth. Yeah. The Shining.
Watch movies.
Yeah. No, The Shining.
Okay.
Stephen King.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I knew that much.
so Labyrinth, yeah. So it's a type of meditation where you're just walking in this pattern, and you walk, and then you end up in the middle, and then you walk out. But you can do it with your finger. There's finger patterns, and what I've seen is my dreams. Like I do it before I go to bed, and my dream is like, whoa, what was that all about? You know, and I think it just neutralizes your brain. So you're just doing this pattern, and somehow you're connecting the two hemispheres, and you know, left, right brain. It's really crazy interesting. So meditation is just for me, it's a real quieting of the mind. It takes me back to neutral. Back in the day when I was in college, I would use it, you know, during super stressful times. I would have to meditate. And this brings back the story. When I used to meditate religiously at nighttime, and I would spend like a half an hour and just go. One of the things they say about nighttime meditation is if you can go through your day, like literally from when you woke up, you know, go through it, and just then that gives you a lot more time of dream time, because so much of your dreams are processing. But if you do it consciously in meditation before you go to sleep, then what you dream you're starting will be more
Interesting.
yeah, more
You don't have to
relevant.
think about all that.
Yeah, it's already been processed. So anyhow, I used to do a lot of what they call astral traveling, and I would just go out and I'd go like into the sun and just watch everything, you know, break up, and then go out into nebulas and just like go out, you know, just like. And so I was getting better and better at it, and I'd just go out. You know, I'd literally like leave and see myself in the room, and then go up to the top in some ceiling and look myself down, and then go out above the house and look at the house and the roof, and then go up and look at the little town what I was in, and then go, you know, and see myself going further and further, and then get up into like looking at the earth, like there's the sun, you know, like, whoosh, you know, go to the sun, go to the moon, wherever, and then I started going further and further out, and then I was way out there. I was going out, and all of a sudden one night it was like, Frank. And it wasn't me. It wasn't like something in me going, Frank. It was like this outside voice, like, Frank. And I was like, and I scared the shit out of me. I mean, it was like, because it wasn't me. And I was out there, and I stopped meditating.
Like your powers are getting too strong.
I know. I was like,
All to say.
it was like, that's it. I'm done. You know. And
So before you would sleep, you would think about what you wanted to dream of, and you would dream it.
No. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
you could. I mean, lucid dreaming. That's a whole nother thing. But no, I just process the day. You know, just think about, you know, that, you know, the interaction with so and so. I got up, you know, had
What you did that day.
Yeah, what I did that day. Real, just banal. You know, super simple. Nothing. You know, maybe if I got an argument, oh yeah. But just think about everything you went, and it take like 5 minutes. You know, really didn't take a lot of time, and that it's like it kind of cleans the slate for the brain. Then you can dream, and just the dreams you don't have to spend that time in dreamland going through your day. You've already done it.
Interesting.
So and it saves a lot of time. So yeah.
Dude, when I was little, I used to, like, before bed, I would tell myself, okay, I want to dream about this. And
Me
I would
too.
dream it.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
It
would
would
dream
work
it.
for me.
But when you said lucid, it's not like I have control over everything.
Right.
I would just, like, pick a scenario. And a lot of times it was, like, a hero scenario
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I was a kid.
Sure
I was
was.
a kid.
Sure was.
It was
Yeah,
always
just last night.
No. It's not recently, but it would be that. Yeah, like a lot of times, I'd be like put myself in like the Spider-Man movie, but it was like you picked a scenario, but I couldn't control like the outcome. I would always just I want to dream about
cool.
this. Yeah,
Mm.
it was always Spider-Man and like Luke Skywalker.
And what
those
what
are,
were
like,
the
my main
outcomes
thing.
for you? Was it really good?
It was just like now that I think about it and I break it down, because these are like little kid thoughts, you know, and it was always like the hero gets the girl at the end, you know what I'm saying, like
Sure.
fights the bad guy type of thing. But it's interesting how I used to like, oh, I want to dream about this tonight, and I used to just be able to do that.
Cool.
It's weird.
I was never able to do that growing up. I always tried. I would. Like,
I should try. Like I guess
Yeah.
it's just never a thought anymore. Like that's just like your little kid imagination taking over and just, you know what I'm saying. But
Mhm.
now that's not a thought that comes into my head
Mhm.
before bed. It was just you saying that just reminded me of all that.
Mhm.
It's like thoughts. You know what's weird too is when you wake up and you have a dream, and when you wake up you're like, did I already dream this?
I've
Like,
had
is this
that
a
couple
reoccurring
times.
dream, or is this just like, is it reoccurring in this one
It's
dream?
like deja vu almost.
Kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, I'm like, wait, I think I've dreamt this when I was little, but I can't.
Oh.
I don't know if it was like in my dream I had dreamt it already, or
Right.
if it's a reoccurring dream. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That happens to me a lot, and I don't know the answer.
Should probably get that checked out, man.
I know. I was gonna say that's like the first stage of
my glasses.
first stage of psychosis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Is he? Hi. What's going on, man?
Like, oh yeah, that's a red flag. You should
Yeah,
call
yeah.
911.
All right, enough of that.